Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section social media account. Also, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. These videos take a long time to make. This is how you learn. Let's see. I did finish the week with 26 wins, 3 losses for a win rate of 89.66% for the week, up over the 85% weekly goal. So, you know, last year was 80%. I'm kind of boosting it this year to 85%. So, definitely exceeded that goal, so I'm very pleased with the week. With that said, we'll just get into it. Trade ideas room for the 12th, which was Monday, right? SPY calls over 409.50 and Meta puts under 168. Which way is the 12th? Right here. Okay. Now, what did I ended up taking at open? I took calls at 9:43. You can see the level right here, the 409.50, which is pre-market high, rounded up to get the whole dollar, the half dollar. I waited for the first 10-minute candle to form. Once it formed, I took calls off the high, took the 41.15 calls at 620. And they went from $6.20 to $15. So nice little clean play off that. Then I took puts at 10.53, which is right here. As you can see, it popped up. Let's see if there's any. Get the hourly right here, yeah, which is the 12th right here. Yeah, you can see right here we get resistance right at the 412 area over here on the hourly. So I didn't try to guess the top. I kind of waited to get this round top right here. And once I did get the round top, once it broke below this 410.80 area, that's why I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 4100 puts at 810, and they went from 810 to $12 right there. And then I took puts again at 1146, which is right here. Popped back up, didn't quite get the higher day, but made a lower high. And then when it came back through VWAP and the 20 EMA, that's where I grabbed the other set of puts, the 4100 puts again at $9, and they went from $9 to $18.50 in that little dump right there. I remember as soon as I got in, like literally within 10-15 seconds, maybe even 30 seconds after I got in, we had this massive dump. I don't know if it was news or what, I don't remember, but we had this nasty red candle shortly right after. So 100% move on that dump right there. Then I grabbed puts again at 207, which is right here. Not right here. I didn't buy calls here. I probably could. I probably should have. You know, I held the lower day, and I think one of the things that was holding me back from buying calls was because we're at 409 area, and the RCT trend line is down at 496. So what ends up happening is the RCT trend line ends up as a huge magnet, and when price gets away from it, like $10-15 away from it, it ends up coming back to it eventually. Sometimes it takes a couple days, sometimes a week or so. But in an end, overall, it does end up going back to it eventually. So, but also if the market keeps grinding up, the RC10 trend line is going to move up. It's going to adjust. It's not going to stay at 396. It's going to go up with it. So that's why I didn't grab calls. I was a little skeptical of grabbing calls because we were so huge difference between the two. You can see there's a huge gap right here, and so I didn't really want to grab calls in case it did end up flushing. So I just waited, and it didn't quite make a run for higher day. It made a lower high, and once it broke this 410, the 410 50 area, that's where I ended up grabbing the 4105 puts at $7.40, and they went from 740 to 1160 in that little dump right there. So I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 perfectly timed plays, so they ended up working out really well. Then I ended up grabbing calls at the end of the day at 3:44. Right here, I grabbed the 4110 calls at $2.55. Now, I know I was looking at puts, because it's got a gap fill down here. But at the end of the day, you can just throw everything out the window because the market makers are going to take the market where they want it. And to me, even though it didn't break the bottom right here, the lower day, well, maybe it did just a tiny bit. And it did make a lower high and did make a lower low right here. So it was making a nice symmetrical triangle going into the end of the day, which usually is a 50-50 shot. But going into the end of the day, when it was right around the 410, 411 area, that I was expecting maybe an end of the day push to take everyone out of their comfort zone and taking everybody out of the puts or whatever. Because I believe put to call ratio was very low at this point. I have to actually look at that. I'm just going to take a quick peek. Where is the map? Let's see. Look at the put to call ratio for what was this, Monday? Just taking a peek off to the side. Where were we on Monday? Monday the 12th. Yeah, put to call ratio was very, very low. Everybody was on the call side. So it was down around the 0.55 area. So a lot of people are in calls. So that's why I was thinking puts, because the put to call ratio was so high. But at the end of the day, like I said, it changes everything. And it being up here, I figured they'd push it to 412 to higher day or even higher. So for an end of the day play at $2.55, I figured it was worth it. So I tried it, but I ended up stopping out because it was just not working out, and theater was just destroying it, even though it wasn't really going anywhere. So that was loss number one for the week right there. Then on let's see, Tuesday. Let's see what it said in the Trade Ideas room. Tuesday, I said SPY calls over 404. Now we had this massive gap down right here. I'm getting back to what I was saying. It did go back and test it. Look at that right here. The next day, that's just crazy. The reason I was looking at calls on Tuesday was because we've seen so many times when you have these massive gap downs. 90% of the time when you have a gap down this big at open, everyone's piling into puts for a continuation down, and then it just rips, and everyone's scratching their head like, why? Because everyone's going in puts, they're just squeezing them out. It's more of a gamma squeeze, short squeeze, whatever you want to call it, and they're just getting squeezed out. So that is why I took calls. I took SPY 403 calls at 950, which is right here. I got it. I probably bought it right up here at the top, thinking that we were going to pop, because we've seen so many times in the past we have these massive gap downs that just rip. They end up like, if it normally it would open right around, let's say I would open at 401.88. It could be to 406 in the first 10 minutes. So I was willing to take it. If it broke the 404 level, and it didn't. So it waited the first 10 minutes, waited the second 10 minutes, then the third 10-minute candle that got over the second 2-minute candle high, and that's when I ended up grabbing it, thinking, well, we're actually going to pop, and we didn't. And so the 403 calls I got at $2.55. I stopped out at $1. And then I took calls at 1051, which is right here, right down in here. I took the 4,000 calls at $7.70, and they went from $7.70 to $9. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out why I took it here. Oh yeah, I see right here the hourly. First of all, let's see, 398. Trying to look at the hourly. Where are we? 398. Yeah, look at the hourly. You can see there's a level right here, the 398 level. I figured that 400 was going to hold. It was looking like it was going to hold, and it just flushed through. But when it got to the 398 level, you have all this area right here, this pivot, right in here. So I figured, okay, it's going to hold there, especially after having a 17 point drop. I mean, because if you technically count it up here, that's 415, 398. It's a 17-point drop. I mean, that's just huge. So, okay, so I was like, I bought calls, I took the chance, and then it just stayed in this little area. So every time it popped a little bit, I'd sell it, and every time it dip, I would buy it. So I did end up buying the 4,000 calls again at 1203, which is right here when it popped up over this area. So I sold into that. It came back down, and once it got over the 398.50 area, I did grab the 4,000 calls again at $5.50, and they went from 550 to 770. And then I bought the 4,000 calls again at 106, which is right here. Same thing, you have all these bunch of candles. Once I get over the 398 80 area, I grabbed the 4,000 calls again, this time at $5.60, and they went from 560 to 850. And okay, it was still, in a bear flag right here, but yeah, it rejected the 20 EMA. This is the first time it's touched the 20 EMA. Even though there was already a massive drop, it still can keep going more. I mean, this just because it's gone to the $15 limit, usually is what I think about for the range, max range and extreme range. It can still go lower. You can't count out the panic selling. So once it rejected the 20 EMA and it came back down, I did switch to puts at 2 o'clock, which is right here. I grabbed the 39.80 puts at $7, and they went from $7 to 23, 200% move if you held all the way through. Then I ended up buying calls at the end of the day, right at 314. 314 of our calls. I'm probably going to have to go down to the 1 minute to actually see that play. Okay, what time was it? 314, which is right here. Got that little of a bounce right there. I got the 39.50 calls at 680, and they went from 680 to 840 before it ended up dumping more. Now, question is, why did I buy it right there? And blow up the day. Maybe I was buying it. Maybe the RCT trend line was down here further. I think it was. I think it moved up because of the rest of the week. Yeah, I think that, yeah, the RCT trend line is why I grabbed it right there. It bounced straight off it. So yeah, even though it shows it up here, I think it was close down here around the 394 level. 390, yeah, 394. So I'm assuming that's what I did, because I think that's what I actually did do, if I remember correctly. If I look back in the room, which I'm not going to do, there's too many things to go look through, but I'm sure the RCT trend line was right there. That's why I grabbed it. So 680 to 840, not a bad day. I had one loss at the very, very beginning because of the short squeeze. I thought it was going to happen, but it didn't happen. So now on to Wednesday, let's see. Trade Ideas channel on the 14th? Was that what Wednesday was? Yeah. SPY calls over 396. Tesla calls over 294. Took Tesla. I think this is the one I said that I would take even if it not waiting out the first 10 minutes. Yeah, I did. I took it at 9:31. I didn't even wait. As soon as I got over 294, which is right here, pre-market high, that's where I grabbed it, and I grabbed the 295 calls at 4:30, and they went from 4:30 to 890, 100% move. Oh, this play right here. Then I took SPY. SPY calls. Took SPY calls at what, 944, right when it broke over the high a day, or this high of this candle right here, which is technically high a day. I grabbed the 394 calls at 225. They went from 225 to 286. I played SPY the first couple plays a couple times this week because of SPX was just so expensive, so I just switched to SPY. I'm not going to pay $15 a contract. That's just retarded. So I'm just looking. Took 394 puts at let's see, 1019, which is right here. This might have been the play too that I caught, and right after I caught it, just one of the plays this week, as soon as I get in, like 10-15 seconds after I get in, the market just dumped them. This might have been, I don't know, but I took 394 puts at 190 right here at this candle. As you can see, it popped up, came back down. Once it broke below this 393, you can see the 394 area. That's where I ended up grabbing the 394 puts. Went from 190 to 312. That was a nice little dump, nice little play. And then this massive green candle got bought up really, really, really fast. I bought calls at, let's see, 1043. Right here is where I grabbed it. Yeah, took the chance. I grabbed it right there. Because once you see a massive drop like this and it got bought back up really, really quickly, I did buy calls here. I kind of felt like I was chasing it, so it is what it is. So I grabbed it anyways, just thinking, okay, this is a pretty green candle. It really engulfed the previous red candle. I just was not expecting that, so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna grab it. So got the 39.65 SPX calls at 870, and they went from 870 to 13. Then I grabbed calls again at 1137, which is right here, right off VWAP. I grabbed the 39.60 calls at 850, and they went from 850 to 1120. I got a little bit of a play off that. Then I took calls again, the same 39.60 calls, but this time at 1218, which is probably right here. No, I didn't grab it right there. 1218, I grabbed it here. No, I grabbed it right here. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I get why I grabbed it there right off the bounce off VWAP, but it's more high risk right here because it came down, it tested it, it bounced, and it came quickly back down. I mean, it could have flushed right there. Maybe I got it closer up here over the 393, the 394, 89, 90 area, thinking it was going to break. And it came back down, then it actually did break. But yeah, I got the 39.60 calls right in this candle at 780, and they went from 780 to 10. So they probably would have gone more if it didn't drop here and then finally pop. But that was definitely a dangerous play. I probably should have waited to get right over here. But it is what it is. So that was what, 6 plays, 6 wins. I could have kept trading, but I just I was already up 6 wins for the day, and I didn't want to take a chance, take a loss, do anything stupid. But yeah, I could have definitely taken this, could have taken that, and I could have taken this down here. I probably should have definitely taken this because end of the day, that probably would end up being a 2 or 3, 400% move right there. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. Then I took, let's see, what, on the 15th, I took Tesla. Let's see, the trade ideas room on the 15th, I said Tesla puts on the 301 and SPY calls over 394.50. As soon as it got hit underneath 301, as soon as I got underneath 301, I grabbed it and it popped. I grabbed the 300 puts at $4. It popped up, and it popped up. I just got out. I got it at $4, stopped out at 270. Just like whatever, I'm done with that. So I'm glad. And I actually kind of was like, okay, maybe I should have held it. Then throughout the day, I kept thinking, I should have held it here. Probably would have paid off. And here it was coming back down, but it never really got below lower day. So I was like, okay, maybe it was good I stopped out. And then the next day, who knows if they actually went green. They probably definitely went green in the money. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sweat over that. Then I ended up playing, let's see, SPX calls at 941, which is right here. You can see this is, make sure I get the right day. Red candle right here. As soon as I got over the high of this candle, I grabbed the 3960 calls at 760, and then went from 760 to 1480. Nice move. Rejected the 200 EMA. I thought about grabbing puts right there, and I didn't. It was a nice clean drop. I should have. I kicked myself for not doing it because SPY dumped so much. I did grab Roku next. I grabbed Roku right here. I mean, look at this. This is just a massive move. I grabbed Roku at what? The 956, which is this candle right here. Yeah, right in here, right around the 73. It was right around 73 because I had the 73 puts at 170. And Roku, whenever it has these monster candles, it sells off. I mean, of course, now I can't find it. They just ends up losing all its gains. Of course, I'm not going to go back and waste time over that. But you know the history of Roku. It just, anytime it has a massive pop, it went from what, 60s, 67.50 to 73, which I used to make $20 moves, but lately it struggles to make a $5 move in a day. But it definitely made what, $8 move in this, well, $7 move in this. So when it got to 73, I was like, okay, this thing's gonna lose all its gains, and then it popped more. I just held it. I mean, I was gonna actually held it for the next day. Hold it for the next day. I can't talk straight, so excuse me. So it did actually dump. I was able to get out. So they went from 170 to 221 on that little play right there. So then SPY, I took SPY calls at 1022, which is right here, lower day. Yeah, right. That's where I grabbed it, lower day, right here. Got a little bounce right there. I got the 3960 calls at 670, and then went from 670 to 780. I was assuming that lower day will hold. After having this massive drop, I was expecting a short squeeze because everyone's on the put side. Didn't it stayed in a narrow channel on Wednesday? So that's why I was looking at the call side on Thursday. Short squeeze, but it didn't really happen. Then I bought calls again at what, 1032, which is down here. Wait, 1032. Okay, I bought it 1022 and 1032. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at these down to 1 minute so I can actually see, because the candles, 10-minute candles, are making it hard. 1022. Oh yeah, it's because I didn't get it at the lower day. Okay, I got it up here. I got it right here. Okay, the 3960 calls at 1022. This is where I grabbed it. Looks like I grabbed it right down at the 393, 394 area. That's where I ended up grabbing it. As you can see right here, it was consolidating. Plus, got pre-market action right here, pivot right there. So I did grab it off that. So the 670 to 780 was right there. Then this was the one where I grabbed at 1032, which was the lower day. I had the 3950 calls at this time. I got it at 650, and then went from 650 to 880. So you can't even really see the other one. because this candle was just so massive. But it looks like it was right around the 394 level, I think I said, which is right in here. As you can see, previous day right there was holding. But lower days where I grabbed it right here. Had to shut my door. Neighbor decides to mow his lawn right when I'm recording videos. It always seems to happen. But anyways, what was I saying? The lower day is where I grabbed the 39.50 calls. Then I grabbed the 39.25 calls at 11.13, which is down here. And it's got this punch through the lower day. Nice big red candle. Got this indecision right here, doji. And then when it come back up, that's where I grabbed it. I grabbed the, actually, I grabbed it right in this candle, right? Yeah, right up here. Grabbed it right over here somewhere, right around the 391.50 area. 39.25 calls at 7.50, and they went from 7.50 to 14. And then I grabbed calls again at, what's the timestamp? I can't even read that. 3:33, which is down here. I grabbed the 38.95 calls at 5.90, and they went from 5.90 to $10 right there. So, yeah, I grabbed it there. I don't know why. I should have grabbed calls right there. I should have grabbed puts right here. There's so many. I should have grabbed puts right here. There's so many areas where I should have grabbed some plays. I mean, there's so many areas I could have grabbed. I mean, the 200 EMA rejection I didn't grab. I get why I was looking at the call side because of the put to call ratio, but I should have grabbed calls here and I didn't. I could have grabbed puts right here and I didn't. I could have grabbed puts right here and I didn't, but I did grab calls right here. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So my third loss of the week on which is Tesla's puts at the opening day, at the open. Then Friday, let's see, what did I say in the trade ideas room? SPY puts under 383, Amazon calls over 123.50. I grabbed the SPY 383 puts at 9.35. Right when it started to come down. They went from $2 to $2.50. It started to come down and pop back up, then it actually finally dumped down. So I was able to get out of that. Then it took SPX puts at 9.53. Actually, I have to bring this down to the 2-minute level, actually, the 1-minute level to see. 10-minute candles making it hard to see. Let's see on the yeah, I got out at like what, 9:59. So 9:59, which is down here. Oh, I'm confused right here. Okay, we look at. Oh, 9:49. Okay, which is right here. Right in here. Okay, this is where I got out right there. So SPY puts I grabbed down here and got that. I think I actually grabbed it. No, what time did I grab it? 9:35. So I grabbed it right here. Yeah, so I grabbed it here and sold it down here. Okay. The only bad thing about using 10-minute channel time frame is that if you get in and out too quick, that you miss the play. So sun's in my face. Okay, I got a skylight over my desk. Then the sun shines right in at this time of day. Let's see. Then I grabbed puts at 9:53, and that is right where it broke below this area right here. I switched, took a chance to grab SPX, expensive, out of the money. I got them at 5.50, went to 5.50 to $7, and the rest of that drop right there. Then I switched to SPX calls at 10.07, which is right here. It dropped. It didn't drop that much. Came back up over VWAP. And that's when I took the 38.80 calls at 9:20, and they went from 9:20 to 12:30. Then I took puts at 12:14, which is right here. See a little bit of a head and shoulders. I remember watching this. You get the left, you get the head, and you get the right shoulder. And I was looking at underneath the 383 level, and that's where I ended up grabbing the 383 38.30 puts at 840, and then went from 840 to 1180. Then I switched to calls at the end of the day at 340, which is right here. Right here. Got the 38.70 calls at $7, and it went from 7 to 9. Right in here. So yeah, I think there was like at the money or in the money. I think I was possibly even in the money at this point in time. That's why it doesn't look like much of a move, but when SPX, if you're at the end of the day, you can squeeze a play. Yeah, 340, which is right here. So yeah, they went from $7 to $9. So it doesn't look like much, but being in the money at the end of the day, a small 10-cent move, 20-cent move will send them to $3 very, very easily. That's the power of SPX. So that is the plays for the week, and hopefully the recap has helped you understand why I did what I did. I also see some things I should have done, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So next week's going to be an interesting week, FOMC, so it should be fun and hopefully volatile, and that's going to do it. And thanks for watching.